And we're live. What is up, guys? This is Green Warrior
Yeah,
291.
we'll see.
I'm here with the CEO of Furries, the furry himself, and I'm here with Shiblibli. We're here with a Star Wars discussion.
Yeah, we're talking the Star Wars boy.
I have no clue what's going on.
She doesn't know. She'll pipe in with some rational thought.
And then we're hoping someone else joins in that is a Star Wars person.
Yeah, we got one more on deck when she joins in.
Whenever she can. If she can't, that's fine. Because I know Lauren works and stuff. So let's begin.
First meme.
She's watching pimple popping.
Dr.
porn.
Pimple Popper? Dude, she has a whole entire TV show actually.
She's
now, on cable television. I know.
Interesting.
I know, it's weird, dude. She pops pimples for people the only people that would be watching that are like 70-year-old women. Just saying.
Well, all right. We will discuss Star Wars, but it'll be completely like a bunch of discussions. So this will be a little bit long. So I grab your popcorn or grab I don't know some fucking food. We're gonna be here a while.
I have to sleep. I got tests and shit tomorrow. Lame. I'm gonna tell her that she's lame.
I'll try to put evidence here on my thing whenever I can to show the viewers what I'm talking about or what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
But aside from that, let's go with the first
peer
topic.
Pressure into joining.
We did it! Peer pressured her!
I'll peer pressure her until she joins.
We'll start it off. Once she joins, we'll go to the prequel thing. And if she doesn't join, we'll
You watched prequels, I'm leaving.
Hey, cool kids have Chegg.
Oh crap! I didn't think she joined this early. Okay, I guess we could start with the prequel thing we were discussing.
First start. Luke was a Mary Sue.
He was not. Okay, wait.
In the first episode, then he redeemed himself in the fourth episode. Then he redeemed himself in the fifth episode.
Here, we'll do this. We'll just call it by its names, like each episode by its name, so we don't confuse ourselves.
Yeah.
So so the argument here is for those of you viewers. I'll quickly sum it up. Furry here thinks that in A New Hope, Luke is a Mary or a Gary Stu, if you want to be technical, but Mary Sue, and that he eventually was no longer that in Empire Strikes Back. And I'm gonna argue that Luke was not a Gary Stu. Do you want to go first, or should I?
Yeah, it don't matter. It's your YouTube channel.
Or Lauren, why don't you go first off? I don't know what her side she is in.
I don't know. Let's hear.
He kind of is, but I mean, at the same time, he isn't though.
Bruh.
He's kind of a bitch. I mean, his uncle and aunt just got fucking obliterated. I mean, straight up, their bodies were burned beyond recognition. And he just turns to Ben and is like, "Yeah, let's go. I'm ready to go on a bomb-ass adventure with you and kill some."
Okay, but that's a whole different argument. Because first of all, he just lost his family, or well, whatever left he had of family. What the fuck is he gonna do?
And abandoned them. He did not even stay to give them a funeral. He was like, "Oh, no, bye."
You could see their dead, burning bodies. What are you gonna do?
What a Chad! Just walks off.
What would you have done? Okay, to be fair, what if there was Boba Fett or some other? Because I feel like Boba Fett was the one that killed them. But what if it was some like Empire waiting for him?
I feel like Luke. The main problem is that in the end, he was a moisture farmer in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
But he went to the academy, though. Wait, no. He went to
the academy. What academy?
He mentioned the academy. If you appeared like way later, whenever you joined in. But
is that canon?
Yeah, that's canon.
How reputable is this academy? Because I've seen academies in Punjab, India.
First of all, it's probably the Imperial Academy. I know the only evidence I really have is Rebels, which is canon. and they do show like how they're training them and stuff. And then there's the fact that his friend that died in the what's it called, in that run, or in the Death Star run, he literally did vouch for Luke that he is a good pilot. And plus, Luke even mentioned that he did some similar training and stuff. So it's not like he knew. It's not like Rey. I'm gonna use Rey as an example again in our to reiterate the argument. Rey, there's nothing telling her. She first looks at the ship, and she doesn't know a ship really. You could give the argument that she knows about ships because of the Imperial ship, but she really doesn't know how the Millennium Falcon works. And she does better than Han Solo, who had it for many years. Now that is a problem. She is able to bend the plot to her will, and she beat Kylo Ren, who was trained by Luke Skywalker and Snoke.
Okay, well, she's also perfect at everything.
She's also that, and I don't want to go to the other.
Fuck Rey. Like, Rey is like worse than Luke in every single way. Like,
no, Luke.
Oh, of course.
Luke is
but
like.
I'm just saying that Luke had the same trait.
I hate her gut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing with Luke is at least he had like a story arc with it. Like, he wanted to go in an adventure.
That was after episode 5. Wait, also, by the way, are you telling me that they have an academy, an accredited academy in like the Empire that trains rebels?
No. At that point, it's just their fault.
I know what Ronnie's talking about, like that academy. They showed that one scene with all the kids, and Luke was gonna kill one of the kids, which was Kylo, right? Wasn't he gonna kill Kylo?
Wait, what academy?
We're talking about episode 4 academy.
Oh no, never mind. I
don't know what you were. I don't know what you were doing.
That was episode 8.
No, okay. I'm using it as an example. What I'm saying is not about that. What I'm saying is about Luke. He mentioned about an academy that him and his friends are like all gone. Like they're finally done with.
The one that they had trained at.
Yeah, they mentioned it in the movie, like in A New Hope, and the uncle's like, I need you in the harvest, though. 1 more year, and then you can, like, go. And it's like, because he did good. He's able to, like, leave and do more stuff, because that's the Empire's academy, and his friend rebelled.
Keep disconnecting. Oh, that's a badass picture of Luke, though.
Oh, that is. I'm going to have to put it for mine, too.
He's sick. No, the thing is, like, I think the main thing is that, okay, so you have Luke being trained at an academy, notorious for releasing rebels, apparently. I mean, any totalitarian empire would be on that shit within minutes, dismantling that entire operation, right? But even if we ignore that, because, you know, Star Wars, I mean, there's a lot of things that Star Wars ignores. You know, like, you got the big walkers that make no sense physically, but, I mean, they're fun and they're cool. I mean, I don't care about the physics of it. I care about that it looks awesome, right? And most people do too, and that's good. But then you have other things that it starts to get really difficult to ignore, like when they're assaulting an entire space station with. I'm getting an echo.
Oh shoot.
Hello. Oh.
Hello.
You know, hear me? There you go.
I think
so like he assaults this gigantic space station that's bigger than any other space station, apparently, you know, like half a moon the size of, and like they assaulted with 30 ships. Now again, like I said before, I get God damn it, it keeps cutting out. What the hell? I'm going to my I'm gonna get off my Wi-Fi and go to my
All right. I'll wait for a moment then. Oh, dang it.
Are we now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So, they had like 30 ships assault this gigantic space station, and I was thinking, okay, 1970s, you know, they didn't have a lot of big budget, especially since they didn't even know if this movie was going to be a big thing, so they were making it for fun. Makes sense. But when the remasters comes out, you think that if they really intended it for it to be a big space battle, that they would add some ships in the background maybe or something, or throw a couple scenes in there just to show that it was a big battle. But no, they totally stuck with the plan of it being like 20 or 30 ships taking on an entire starship thing, or what do we call it? I don't even know.
Here for
Yeah,
Discord, I'm gonna like put my
Starflight,
I'm gonna put
brand new
myself
to the
live,
universe.
so that way whenever I'm gonna show evidence, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna show some examples of the changes they made. And frankly, I think everyone hates the changes they made. First off, I think we can all agree on that. Totally.
Okay, the changes they made. Han Solo shot first. Here, if you go to my stream, it even shows it in fucking Lego form.
Oh, you know what? Here's why do you think that it's important for Han's character?
Because
that he
here,
shot
back again.
first?
Boom. He shot first. I'll make it in slow motion, so anyone who tells me that no, they both shot first. No. Fucking.
No, I mean, he shot first, but like, why do you think that it's important that they?
Because think of it this way: Han Solo is a smuggler. It gives him his character much more validity, much more importance that he's the one that won't take shit from anyone.
Hell yeah!
Boom! Right there in so freaking slow motion, you see him shoot first. It gives
Frankly,
his character.
I feel like it's big for character. Yes.
Because if you make him, because he's already of what's it called, a person, a very crappy person, but with a heart of gold deep down.
Yeah.
But
it's deep down.
And you need to peel those layers off of him. If you just give him the defending himself, that doesn't really help his character. If anything, that hurts his character a bit more.
Like his father.
Wait, Han Solo's father? Who was Han Solo's
Who's
father?
Han Solo's father?
Oh, fuck.
Oh shit, I don't know. He wasn't important.
He must have not been important.
My favorite scene is definitely Carrie Fisher flying through space, even after she had died, but they were still milking her corpse for money. That was my favorite scene in the whole.
I think we'll save all the crap of the sequels at the very end because we're just all gonna give it shit.
Yeah. That's gonna be a whole section.
But okay, so here's where I'm gonna use Lego so I don't get copyrighted to hell again because Disney did copyright.
You got copyrighted already?
They copyrighted my season 7, episode 12 of the Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and I put only they copyrighted the reaction, which I already knew that was gonna happen. They copyrighted my second video, which had only bits and pieces.
Have you seen that video of her react? Wait, hold on. Click on that second to last video. Or second to top video.
Which one?
Meme. Yeah, there you go.
Oh wait, I can't see it. Oh, that's fine. For meanwhile, let me give my arguments while we're at it. Although
Make sure the sound is on too, because this one's fucking funny.
I can play it whenever.
Play it.
Okay, what are you gonna go, Francie?
Well, I mean, waking up on Christmas morning, what's the alternative? Not waking up.
Here, I'm gonna change my thing to display so I can show you guys what.
Tragically, she did pass away, I think, a couple months before Christmas, but still funny. I hope that she would have laughed.
Okay, well, as that's happening, so my evidence here.
I'm sorry.
The only evidence I can give you about the whole Luke is it does mention within the story that he did train as a pilot, not as like a full on pilot, but enough to know stuff. He even mentions it that he's not a bad pilot because he doesn't brag.
So
He's
I
not.
guess he has the equivalent of pilot's license in America.
It's like
for farm purposes.
I don't know. I don't really know a lot about. I'm gonna use cars because that's the only example I can really give that makes sense for me. Like you can learn how to use an automatic, and you can kind of get the gist of a manual. You obviously will not be super good at it, but you can get a gist of it because you know how to drive. It's not like he killed even any Imperials, honestly. And throughout the movie, I don't think he killed any, honestly, because everyone else was getting killed by them. And then
I'm trying to remember.
I mean, if there's a scene that he kills them, it'd probably be one or two. I don't think he took out every single one, Because the argument I'm gonna give is Rey. She learned not to use the Force with literally no training, like the Force mind
No,
trick.
yeah.
She was able to escape
think
on
that
her
this-
own. And then right here, if you're able to like see mind stream, here's my evidence that on the fact of matter that Luke couldn't have won it on his own. He literally needed help because Han Solo came in and saved this ass.
Yeah,
No,
he would have
I
straight up died.
honestly, I think by far the center of my concern with it is that in the end they could have added more fighter jets in the background or more fighter aircrafts in the background.
For
Maybe
what? For only 4 of them or 5 to have come out? They already lost all of their
so
fucking.
the final battle, right? Got the final battle. And I just feel like they could have used a lot more rebel ships to make it look more plausible.
Dude, there was only like.
That's a big ass. That's a
Dude,
big
and Lego even shows it.
station.
Dude, in Lego it's worse. There's only 2. Well, there's only 3 ships, and then including the Millennium Falcon, that's only 4. Compared to
The
Wilhelm.
Lego one was also made back in like what 2006.
Yeah, like
7?
way back, and those were
They
semi-accurate.
had the budget.
So honestly,
This was the first video game I think they made. I think this was before the Indiana
I'm
Jones one.
using the complete saga as an example, but no, the first one was
No, that's the good one.
1 through 3. But no, like if honestly, they did had a bunch of ships, but they lost so many men during the fight. It shows you that these guys, despite their victory, they had a lot of losses. Hell, Luke lost his best friend.
I mean,
Well, I mean, the
either
best
way,
friend that
the
we met for
rebels
2 minutes.
didn't really have that many men in the beginning. If you think about it, they're very outnumbered by the Empire already. So it would have been more plausible for the Empire to have overwhelmed them rather than the rebels overwhelm.
Yeah, but if you're
Of course.
honestly their target, like remember, Tarkin is in charge. His only priority was just destroy the planet, and then the rebels automatically lose. That was his whole concern. Because whenever they suggested to that, oh, your ship is ready, then he's like, no, that's for cowards. I want to blow up the planet. So in all honesty, he probably didn't focus a lot on the let's kill the rebels that are here with us. No, he was probably focused on let's destroy the planet.
But I feel like considering how much the Empire spent on the Death Star and how many people were on there and, how powerful the weapon is, I feel like Tarkin would not have been, and, Tarkin's a smart guy. I feel like he wouldn't have been so stupid as to just say, oh, screw the defense. We're going full glass cannon on this mission.
No,
It's
because
just like, we're just going to gamble everything on 30 Star Destroyers plus Darth Vader. And then no capital ships, and we're just gonna.
no, because Darth Vader
Like,
went
I
on
don't
his
know.
own. He didn't really. Tarkin didn't tell him to. He went on his own because he knew that
Okay.
they needed help. That wasn't a Tarkin
Yeah, so,
thing.
Never mind. Tarkin said just 30 normal pilots to guard our entire planet-sized battle.
But that shows how cocky he is, because even in a Darth Vader comic or in a book, I forgot which of the two, it tells that Darth Vader hated this idea because people like Tarkin, despite how smart they are, they're going to be cocky by it. Even was against it with Sidious. He told him that he doesn't like the idea of a Death Star because, first of all, they're going to get cocky with it. And then when the rebels get him off guard, well, they'll blow up. And if the rebels
But
take
if you
it...
think about it, they have a good reason to be cocky. They wiped out an entire order of Jedi. Wow. Jedi.
I thought you were gonna make the mention. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. I thought you were gonna mention this scene right here.
I watched a video that makes fun of Star Wars, and they said Jedi instead of Jedi, and then I just remembered that video.
No, yeah, it was good. No, I don't know. It's like a weird alien Southern.
I thought you were gonna
I'm trying
mention
to
this
think
scene. Are you guys head to my stream? I thought you were gonna mention this one, Lauren. I thought you were gonna mention that they already blew up the fucking planet.
Exactly. They
Well,
could
they blew
have
up
done
the
that to any
planet.
other planet, and they have the right to be cocky. They can destroy any planet they want to.
So in all
They
honesty,
destroyed
it's
an
not.
entire order of Jedi. I can't.
Even Han Solo's like right there. Like what the fuck?
Aren't they gonna have like some enemies after blowing up like an entire planet?
No, because
They
who the fuck
will
is gonna
have
want to
some
fight
enemies.
them?
I don't know. I mean, apparently 30 ships can fight them, so.
Well,
like
that was
every
luck. That
planet's-
was honestly
that's like a
luck.
city's worth. That's like a single city's worth of air force.
Yeah, but that was
Can
all they
fight the
had.
entire empire and destroy it.
That was all they had, honestly. They probably did had forces in Alderaan.
Well, and they should have lost.
Well, they should have, but for the sake of purposes,
They
they
100% should have.
Hey,
Oh, the Force.
you wait, because Obi-Wan was still Obi-Wan was still arguing.
Everyone.
Obi-Wan. Well, you could make the argument that the Force is just completely a plot device. It just gives whatever the hell it wants. But then again, the Force was never
OP. There's some great Force writings out there.
on it. Well, yeah, your Old Republic one. I don't know. Like for this movie alone, it was a basic story. I don't think because Luke was not a Gary Stu to the degree that you put it in the beginning. I think he is a Gary Stu in the sense that he was able to somehow pass it, but then again, Obi-Wan was helping him. So it's not like he did it on his own.
But he did do it on because, like, suddenly he was just able to connect to Obi-Wan as if he knew the Force, just like Rey.
He had training though. There was like a foreshadowing because Obi-Wan was teaching him to let go during his training in the ship.
Episode 4 though only took place over like what 3 days. I mean, they were in the ship for let's see. He met Obi-Wan, and then they went to the bar place the same day, and then they met Han. And they flew off into space on the same day, and then I assume they took like maybe a week. But I mean, Jedi take like all their childhood to train, so I'm not sure how Luke suddenly learned it that fast. But I mean, Anakin took that long to train.
No, Anakin was confirmed that by the actor of Finn. He told that Anakin could just wipe everyone out, even Rey, and that's saying considering Rey's Mary Sue. But that's because Anakin had training. Like if you're gonna compare Anakin, who Attack of the Clones, he's 19, so let's give him. And then Luke, who's 18, so in this movie, and then Rey, Anakin will wipe both of them.
Oh, well, of course he would, because he has way more training, yeah.
But,
like, that's the thing, is, like, Luke still managed to beat Anakin in a 1v1 or not 1v1, I guess, because, you know, Han came, you know, it's like I'm trying to think of it. It's just, like, basically Luke didn't have enough training to withstand an entire counterattack.
But that wasn't him. That wasn't by himself. That's not like that's making the same equivalency to the fact that Rey took on the guards who were trained, who were like high tier guards.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing is that Rey also is a Mary Sue. I'm not like, of course, also she was overpowered.
But here's the problem with that. You're saying
Luke was less OP than Rey, but he was still OP. Is what I'm trying to say.
Wait, but he didn't fight like the what's it called? The Empire by himself. That's literally saying that he did what Rey did. And he didn't do it by himself. He literally had the rebels or whatever the armies they had, and they sent it all together. It wasn't just him.
Technically, then I guess technically Rey had what's his name, Finn, and Skippy. What's his name? Dude that flies the plane around.
Poe.
Oh shit. Poe. He had a Rose.
Luke didn't fight for shit. He did nothing. All he did was basically do R2 on a controller. That's it. That's all he did.
Oh, Finn is the most criminal one.
There, and his buddies backed him up the entire way, died along the way, and then he just pressed R2. That's all he did. He didn't fight shit, dude.
Hey, can we just go on to ranting about the
entire movie? Han was bailing him out every single time. He's like, oh, they're going to kill her. We got to do something. Han's like, bitch, what are you going to do by yourself? And he's like, I don't know. I'll do something, I guess. And he would have died if Han wasn't there.
So I think the argument... I think with Lauren helped my argument, but it actually hurt Luke's character. But let's be honest. People did... Like, Luke was a spoiled... I guess he was an annoying brat, but he grew up as it went through.
Well, that was the plan, but then they destroyed that plan, didn't they?
Last Jedi destroyed that entire plan, and I will forever hate The Last Jedi for that. But the thing is, I hate The Last Jedi within that foundation, but The Rise of Skywalker takes it up a notch.
You know what though? There is a good video that at least it doesn't. I still hate The Last Jedi, but it at least shows me that the writers were not completely insane. I hear a lot of rap about the whole like they just sabotaged trilogy basically or whatever. And I mean, like, if they seem like that, I think that the main problem is that, you just got multiple studios or whatever it is, and you got multiple directors.
No. It wasn't that. Because if you're going to say multiple
directors,
that's BS, because the original trilogy had multiple directors.
Yeah, but JJ made, like, Lost. And then you had, what's his name come in? And
Rian Johnson. Here's what happened. Here's what happened. I'll give you guys what happened. Rian Johnson gained all the power to do whatever the hell he wanted. There wasn't a whole limited on what can he change and what he cannot. No, he had all the power in the world. That is complete and utter BS for that to happen, because if you give a director the chance to change whatever the hell he wants, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
That
kind of sucks.
That's my gripe. Like, I get what Rian Johnson was trying to do, but the way he took it, like the fans attacking, like not liking his movie, he just attacked back, and well, it tend to
Honestly,
be.
yeah.
But let's go to something that I want to go. Lauren, we're gonna debate on you about the prequels.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
But we will let you go first. We will both not go at the same time, so.
Yeah.
I'll let Lee go first against you, and then I'll go against you after we switches me, so we can tell each other if we want to switch.
Okay, my argument. I guess apparently I'm going first. My argument is that I've never been able to sit through episode 1 all the way through. I don't know why. It's just not mentally. I'm not mentally capable of doing it. Mentally fragile, I guess. I don't know. And then episode 2. I can sit through. It's got some fun battle scenes. You got that one with the Coliseum. Pretty sweet.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Hayden Christensen with Ewan McGregor. Pretty dope. And you got all the good boys in there, right? Like Mace Windu. Badass. Then you got episode 3, The Masterpiece. Hayden Christensen masterfully plays someone who is a broken child at heart. And then you got Ewan McGregor desperately trying to steer him the right way because, deep down they fought a war together. They're still brothers. You got the badass Mace Windu still trying to uphold the Jedi Code, blind to what's happening behind the scenes. Same with Yoda, blind, completely blind, despite the institutionalized Jedi wisdom they've been taught. Does not guard them against Hayden Christensen's wrath. And also you got the whole, honestly, I tell you what, when you there's like a historical thing where what's his name, Palpatine, like his rise is exactly similar to like Julius Caesar's rise in from when it was Roman Republic to Roman Empire, and like they did their research on it, and honestly, not only that, but Palpatine looks like Caesar too, which is pretty cool. I liked that little touch they added, but I thought they did really good on that. It's this sort of political. I know that everyone always criticizes it for the talking, and yeah, maybe it could use a little bit less, but I really liked how they focused on like why the Empire rose and stuff. Anyways, 2 and 3 are good. 1 is
Here, I'll add something with 1. The issue with 1 is, I mean, Darth Maul, perfect. You could still have had him as as the continuation.
100%.
But the issue you have with 1 is it could be a side story, and 2 is literally just resetting the whole narrative all over again. And plus, let's be honest, Padme's fault is to cause a child to fall in love with her, despite them being like 4. Because in canon, Anakin was 9 and Padme was 14 during The Phantom Menace. But the issue is, by the way the actors look, it looks way too big to age difference.
Yeah. Wait, how old was here? Let me look that up. How old was what's her name when she starred in that?
Who knows?
That was a little bit sketchy. She was like 24. What was her name? Fuck.
That
I
that
can't remember.
that's the issue I think people had is they should have had like a more teenager Anakin, not a kid Anakin, because you could sell it. But having
Yeah, she looked like mid-20s
I'm gonna
in episode
immediately
1.
agree with whatever Lee is saying because it sounds smart and articulated, and I know my shit's not gonna sound as articulated as that. So
You're good.
although I'll give the argument that Phantom
I now
Menace.
agree with him 100%. 100%. Anything that I said in
What?
chat is no longer canon.
Hey, this is a ruse.
This is a ruse.
She's
But let's-
trying to do some weird mind tricks on me. Change my mind.
Argument though, I think.
I know 100% that I am not that smart and articulate.
Let me make an argument. Let me make an argument against you. Then let's make a fun argument. I think
Yeah.
episode 1 is much more better written within dialogue than episode 2. Because if you think about it,
anything you say that episode 1 is better than either 2 or 3 is automatically wrong.
I never said 3. I never said 3. I think 3.
Factual.
I think 3 has the best writing dialogue and the best story because it brings home what the arc was. And
Remember in 1 when a baby Anakin Skywalker of 9 years old fought an entire droid fleet?
now that is BS, and that one
Remember
you can
when
make
that happened?
you can make that Gary Stu argument with him. I'm not defending
There's
that.
the Gary Stu.
There's the Gary Stu. So that's compare. I should have used him for my Luke comparison.
Built on Mary and Gary Stews. Like, they're just built on it, guys.
But then Clone Wars sorted it out because then it showed that Anakin had to struggle and fight his way to be, how powerful he was. No one's just born naturally as being perfect at everything, right?
What do you mean? At 9 years old, he destroyed an entire fleet? Oh, no one's.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is that was horseshit. That's why that whole entire scene sucks.
No, I know what
I'm
happened. I know what happened. No, he was just messing around. He didn't even know what the hell he was doing. So at that point, it's just.
Kid.
So at that point, it's just complete and utter luck. At that
Hey,
point.
you know what though? I think that kid did have some horrible problems in life after that.
No, you know what happened? A bunch of people bullied him because of that. So
Yeah, you got bullied
he
at
didn't
school
deserve
and
that. Like he really didn't deserve that.
Bullying isn't a thing doesn't justify any wrongs that you do. You know what bullying does? It gives you the right to show them that you're better than what they're saying.
YouTuber who's watching this, let me make it
Oh,
clear.
it turned him into a big old crack-a-goober.
Let me just yeah, he ended up going wrong. But let me tell you, YouTuber, whenever you're gonna argue about like a show or a movie or anything, remember to separate the actor from the character. Because the actor himself is just playing the character. You can say, for example, Rose. She is not a good character. But you don't attack the actress. Like, she had nothing. If you're going to attack anyone, to attack the writers. It's their fault. They're the ones that writ the character.
Absolutely. I'm
So,
not attacking the people.
That's why when
I'm
I'm saying
saying,
is...
like, if he was
That's why when they bullied
serious-
the boy who played young Anakin, I'm like, that... Why? It wasn't his fault. But...
Yeah. Also, Shelby's looking at Padme. She's fucking fine.
Wait, what?
Oh,
let me
never mind.
see.
There is
Let me see.
big old Darth Maul. No, Padme's.
Hell yeah,
She's fucking
dude.
hot. Oh my god, what's her
Hell
name again?
yeah,
What's the
dude.
actress' name?
Natalie Portman?
Natalie Portman as a blonde? Oh god.
Okay, I don't think we're gonna go into that kind.
No,
Let
I'm not coming right now. I'm just saying, god damn, she's hot.
let me just point it out. Let me just point out that
Look at how it's just
Can we get an F in the
Look at that, but look at that trunk.
okay,
That caboose.
what the fuck?
God damn.
Okay, anyway, where were we with the arguments?
Oh yeah. Anyways,
Alright, so anyway,
The love story is not believable.
Padme
It is
here
not
is gonna
believable.
stand a chance, dude.
but Luke being 10 years older, taking one single Microsoft 2016 flight simulator course, and then going off to destroy the entire empire of trains.
Wait, what are you talking about? He
Equals
didn't take it
realistic.
once. He passed it. It's like, say if you play...
Yeah, he passed Microsoft Flight Simulator equivalent of Star Wars universe.
I mean, it's like if you pass a test for, I don't know, if you're doing a coding and you pass a test, and obviously you have to do this big game code, you have a chance at passing it. It doesn't necessarily...
It's kind of like taking a paper exam on coding. That's a perfect example. Imagine taking a paper test where you've never touched a computer and you learn to code without ever touching a computer or ever coding.
But there's a problem with
Never had
that.
access to-
But there's a problem with that, though. It's much harder doing it on the paper. So if you pass the paper with 100, you sure will know how to code.
I don't know.
Oh, that is.
Okay,
Damn.
we can agree
Marry
that
me, Natalie Portman.
we can agree on this. Episodes 1 and 2 are very rough, but they have their cool moments.
Stick to Lola Bunny.
She's fucking thick-boned.
Wait, what?
Hipped.
Oh.
Aryan.
Oh my gosh! Of course you're gonna search it up for Mr. Furry over here.
Lola Bunny. Oh, here we go.
Viewer.
Dude, they knew what they were drawing. Don't tell me that this was the kids. This was the kids movie, and they knew.
Oh my gosh!
They're
Of course.
sickos.
Fucking
Look at
furry.
that.
I'm.
They knew.
Can we go back to Star Wars? Because I know I don't want to distract the viewer with the.
Star Wars. This is Hogwarts now, bitch.
Can we?
Dude,
Can we?
that was a kids movie with Michael Jordan,
Oh my
and they
God.
knew what they were drawing, and they drew it anyways.
Wait, what do you?
Okay, well, if we're arguing over if she's hotter
We're arguing over her. She
or
was.
if
She
she's
was.
hotter, I'm going for Natalie Portman.
Natalie
I'm sorry.
Portman!
Natalie Portman is a snack.
Natalie Portman over a fucking.
Oh my God! Not this again.
Natalie is a snack.
Anyway, we can agree with this. We can agree with this. Episodes 1 and 2 are rough, but they have their moments. Episode 3 is where everything goes amazing.
Oh, look
Yeah,
at
episode 3 is where it all clicks.
But
Who
have
made
you,
episode 3? Who directed that?
George Lucas.
Look at that!
Oh, sweet.
Like,
Oh my god!
please,
I want that.
please.
Have you guys ever watched? I know. I don't think Laura
Can I
knows.
have her body?
No.
I just wanna fuck.
We all know what you want to do to her show. To be honest,
I like it when the gigantic scratches half of her back off.
What?
It's hot.
Ooh, she's got a gun.
Anyway, wait, Lee. Wait, Lee. Have you ever watched the Clone Wars, like the show?
I watched a few episodes, but I didn't have a lot of time. I don't know. I was watching like regular show and shit, I guess. Like Chowder and
Yeah,
Jack.
Chowder. No, okay. So let me make a quick argument for the Clone Wars, just to kind of pitch you guys in.
I heard it's good though. It's good.
It's
right?
really good because of this. Here, I'll give you the 3 factors. 1, it goes more in depth about the clones, because the big problem with the prequels is you don't have a lot of emotion for the clones. But this one it does. One actor alone played like so many different clones, and each one had their own different personalities. Second, Anakin and his apprentice. He literally had an apprentice, and their connection is believable. And it even explains plot, like certain things about episode 3 that you would never think about. That is not how you spell Anakin. Still wrong. There you go. And
I
Oh,
tried
that chick!
yeah,
so
that
hard.
Didn't she die?
I hope not.
Oh, she made me
Oh, that girl. Ahsoka Katano. Ashoka.
Wait,
I think
who's
the H
this?
might be silent.
still Ahsoka.
Who's this?
That's her older. That's her when she's older.
Oh, so she just like switches sides.
Yeah.
No.
No, because they actually battle. I don't know if it was Star Wars Rebels that they battled.
Rebels.
Was it Rebels?
Right, we have Mask, we have Cookie.
Wait,
And
was it
we have-
Rebels? that
Yeah,
she
Rebels.
finally battles, okay. Rebels, I haven't seen Rebels. I haven't even seen Clone Wars yet all the way through, but I still need to watch Clone Wars. Clone Wars is good, though, honestly. I'd say just skip episode 1.
Dude,
Because-
all those tabs are killing
I
me.
mean, I don't know if you want to skip episode 1 because of Darth Maul, like the musical of Darth
Clone
Maul.
Wars, the thing is, like, you can replace episode 1 with the Clone Wars series, and they'll explain everything about Darth Maul in the Clone Wars series, right?
Yeah, but you'd lose the emotion that Qui-Gon died.
Oh, I guess. You know what? Yeah.
Because
Okay.
the thing with Darth Maul is he's a fan favorite, and that's why they brought him back. And they brought him back not the way Disney brought back Palpatine. No, they brought him back as an actual essential to the story, because he became Obi-Wan's main rival throughout the Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah, and it was a big deal. I like that.
Well,
Yeah, so you know what? I think they could have cut down episode 1 to like 30 minutes, honestly.
I mean,
so
you
they
could.
brought back an essential character, but you know who they also introduced in
Who?
those prequels?
What?
It's a fan-hated Jar Jar Binks.
Actually,
he
fun.
apparently tried to commit suicide, he said?
No, his father tried to commit suicide, and he failed.
Why?
He just couldn't stand Jar Jar anymore and wanted to die.
He was so cursed by Jar Jar that he had to commit suicide. That was his only option.
He couldn't. The gun. He did a stormtrooper thing. It's like that stormtrooper meme that they can't fire. He did the same thing, and
Except no stormtrooper actor ever tried to commit suicide over there. I'm so tortured by my role as Jar Jar Binks.
look.
There's only one option. There's only one way out.
Here,
His face.
who's worse, Jar Jar or Roast Tico?
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar.
I
Everybody
think
hates
I'm
Jar Jar.
taking it lightheartedly because Jar Jar's just so goddamn stupid.
Look
Yeah,
at how
exactly.
ugly.
Did you know what was the original
Bullshit
plan?
That is Jar Jar Binks made a man want to kill himself to get rid of his character. He's like, I played this character and now I have to die. Like, that is the only way I can cleanse my soul. And then they made this insufferable Skywalker kid who's demonstrably OP, who wipes an entire fleet at the age of 9.
That
Well,
actually.
yeah, but that's just because the style. That's just because movie number 1
Did you
sucks.
hear what my cat said? Did you hear what my cat said?
No.
No.
She meow. So clearly,
Oh my
Oh, she said
gosh.
meow? Okay. Wow.
Okay. Wow.
Christ.
But no, okay, here I'm gonna give you guys a fun fact, or well, I'm gonna give you guys 2 fun facts. One, Roast Tico is more hated than Jar Jar right now. Well, at the
Wait, what? Who is?
Roast Tico, because she's just
Who's that?
the Asian girl from like sequel.
Oh, Rose. I didn't know she had a last name. Well, of course she's hated. And honestly, the actress doesn't seem to like her either.
No, well, look, the actress is cute. I'm not gonna deny that, but their characters.
But, I'm saying, like, the actresses, obviously she can't say anything explicitly because, contracts. I get that. But, like, they all seem to be pretty disappointed with how it all turned out in the end, considering how much promise it showed at the beginning with the first setup. A lot of people complain that, the first, the episode 7, it was too similar to episode 4, and I get that, but at the same time, it was a solid setup either way.
It was
And I
more
feel
of
like- Most of the actors seem to say that it was a bad ending.
What do you mean?
What was the?
Like, as in, well, okay, here. I think a good summation of it is this one video where they all just react to how they felt at the ending.
No,
So I have a question. What episode was the one where they go to this planet and all the characters basically die on that planet because they can't get off, and they're sitting on a building or whatever, and the girl is talking to a guy.
Rogue
and they're
One.
Looking at this explosion that's gonna come and kill them in a few
Oh,
seconds.
that's Rogue One. That was an
Rogue
okay
One.
movie.
No,
Oh,
I hated
I
that
enjoyed
one.
it.
That was an
trash.
okay
That was
movie.
absolute
Ooh.
garbage.
No, put the Darth Vader scene. Put the Darth Vader scene. That is the best thing that has ever happened.
First.
It's right there. It's right there. It's right there.
Oh, okay. Play that one first then.
Oh, good.
Although mute it, because I'll get copyrighted to hell.
My entire life. Oh,
Hey,
good.
that's a valid argument. I think, personally, I like the battle scene, I guess, but at the same time, I didn't like how this one dude with a stick, again, like, I know that the fandom constantly tries to make excuses for what the armor of the stormtroopers does. Like, they'll say, like, oh, well, it absorbs the blast and it just knocks the stormtroopers out rather than killing them. And it's like, okay, well, why would a totalitarian dictatorship care about the lives of their stormtroopers? They care about killing the enemy. So, like, they don't care if the stormtroopers just get knocked out versus killed. Like, they're useless on the battlefield either way, so there's no reason for them to even invest all this money in this super powerful armor that can disrupt blaster bullets, right? On top of that, a dude with a stick in Rogue One is able to just beat the shit out of these stormtroopers with this advanced armor. It's like, what's even the point
Look,
of the armor if you can just get smacked on the head with a stick and get knocked out?
Look, this is the only Disney thing that they actually did good, and it's Darth Vader wrecking the heck out of everybody.
I know, but I think that she had a good point with the whole. It's just 2 minutes out of the entire movie. I feel like I enjoyed the movie, actually. I did enjoy the movie, but there are definitely some major problems with it.
Also, funny fact.
But the thing is, the ending, they had such great characters. They could have made use for later, and instead they're like, no, we have to kill them off. We have to. You don't have
Because
to.
otherwise, I mean, I guess you couldn't. You didn't have to. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But I didn't really mind
It
that.
makes me feel like I wasted my entire 2 hours of life. Like, why did I just sit here for this movie if everybody's gonna fucking die? Why did I do that?
I mean,
Well, have you seen Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah, that one was trash too. That made me upset.
whoa. We're not gonna go.
Great movie. It was a great movie. I loved
No,
it.
it wasn't. You just said it was trash.
You just said it was trash.
No, not like.
It's one of the
there
best
was
movies
some
of the
problems with
90s.
Saving Private Ryan, and there was a couple
Tom
problems
Hanks?
with it. It's a great movie. It's just I did have some problems with it.
They
But
all died at the end, so it's all useless.
But at the end, I didn't really. Yeah, but I hated the ending because everyone died in it.
But that's the
Well-
problem. That you can't just hate a movie because everyone died. If it makes sense for the story, it makes sense for the story.
I mean,
By the way,
well,
two
yeah,
people
that's true.
survived.
That's true. And that's only because I was attached to the characters, and then they all.
Yeah, it
So
makes
yeah,
you
that's
want.
what
It
it's
makes.
supposed to be. You're supposed to have this like emotion of like, oh my
But
god.
yeah, that's what I meant when I said that was trash. I didn't actually hate the movie. I was just very
okay.
upset
I get.
about it.
I mean, that's what
In
the
that
emotion
case,
is
then,
supposed to
hell
be.
yeah.
That's the
But
emotion.
For Star Wars, I just felt like it was a waste of a bunch of cool characters. Like they made some.
You felt like
characters
there
that were
wasn't enough development before they died.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, okay.
Like,
I see what you
don't
mean now.
care about any of
Also,
them.
I want to make a funny joke. Everyone in Star Wars is an orphan. Like literally, that's their origin.
Yeah, they never come up with new ones. Everyone's a fucking orphan, okay?
It's like
All
Elder
their
Scrolls
parents
where
are
they just
dead.
make everyone a prisoner.
All the parents died. Like in Star Wars, all the parents died.
All the parents. Or the uncles, I guess, technically.
No, because
Okay? Just facial expression. What was
What?
your
what is this?
to the end?
Oh, this is the cast's reaction to the end of the trilogy that they start in. Now, look at John Boyega right there. Oh, he's not very happy.
He
Oh,
never liked
no,
it. He
they're
actually has
they
been.
are very confused. Oh, God. Oh, John Boyega is. Oh, no, they don't look very happy, do they? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the cast did not like their own script. Oh, JJ's looking back, trying to get any emotion for the press. Poor JJ. Poor JJ had to make a movie out of some destroyed trilogy.
It's not even okay. I think it's Kathleen Kennedy's fault because
Bro, you can pause this and find a brand new reaction in every single frame. Like, it's insane. They all hated it. They're not allowed to say it though, because they signed a contract.
no, they can say it now. They
Look
can
at
definitely
that
say
face. Look at that face.
they can say it now.
Look at that! They hate it! They hate the script. Oh, poor JJ. He's like, please. Oh, God, please.
I mean,
Poor
he
JJ. I cannot imagine the stress that JJ went through.
he
for
got
that movie.
thrown under the bus a lot because of
He got
this.
thrown under the bus because he had a whole story set up and then he just got wiped. And he was like, well, fuck, I guess I'm just screwed and I just have to pull another Lost where just the season 6 just has to end. And it just, I don't, oh, God, oh.
It should have been the prequels, and then they should have ended it there.
They should have ended it there. You want to know what my biggest complaint is? Palpatine being back. Look, he gets thrown off the damn thing. He dies. There's no way he would have survived that, and he didn't.
Turns out the dark side makes you an infinite, just life-supporting god.
It's not just that.
Infinite clone.
Apparently, he's a clone. The Rise of
I
Skywalker
know, it's
is a clone,
ridiculous.
and that one
It's
is
so
like.
absurd.
I'm not mad about him being. Oh, well, I hate that he's a clone, but I'm not mad about that. I'm mad that they didn't explain it. Like I say, read all the other stuff. You'll figure it out like that. We want money. It's like, no, explain me everything. You want to know why I like prequels better than sequels? Because despite how bad they are at times, except Revenge of the Sith, they had a consistent story. There was a consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree that the prequels are like infinitely better than the sequels, but I'm not saying that they're. It's hard to say 1 and 2 were good, but Revenge of the Sith was great.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
They really did fuck it up.
Can that be a
I cannot-
hashtag?
Honestly, I mean, they made their money. I don't think they.
No,
care,
wait,
but-
okay, tell me something. 1 and 2, their problems were just dialogue issues. And yeah, Anakin's overpowered, similar to Rey. But here's the big difference. Anakin was still set up, and you still spelled Anakin wrong.
2 ends. You imbecile.
You wanna know why Anakin had pod racing?
That's a very punchable face, dude. I'll tell you that.
Hey, look at those. Hey, look at those. Look at the. Oh, look at the. Go back up. Oh my God! Look at that facial expression right there, and with the hood where he's killing the younglings.
Oh my God.
That was good too, but he played it so well. Look at that. Oh, look at. He played that role so well. Look at that face. That is a disturbed dude. That is a dude.
Oh my God.
Younglings. He acted that perfectly. The script was bad. Hayden Christensen did nothing wrong.
Look at that cross-eyed expression.
I mean, yeah, that's a little bit weird. Look at that face. Look at that battle-scarred face of, I've seen some shit. I've fought in the Clone Wars for like a decade. And now I'm here to kill some kids.
Turf face? Yeah, that's exactly what he looks like.
It kind of does. Okay.
Oh,
You're
God
ruining
damn
my immersion.
You're ruining
Ruining
it.
my immersion so
Get rid of that.
Breathing out to destroy.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, no. He does have. Oh, God.
No, I'm not. Like
A
1 and 2.
little bit of a like 5 o'clock
I don't know. They could have just been written better.
Gimlet?
Like, you don't need to change much.
Yeah, but
right?
compare.
Writing, yeah. Writing 100%, but the acting, honestly, I think the acting was pretty spot on. I
Yeah,
guess.
but compare those two movies to literally the sequel trilogy.
And you know what? Also, same with the sequel trilogy. I think the acting itself was spot on. You know, John Boyega's great. I know Daisy Ridley was great. It's just the writing was so off.
Yeah, like the actors are doing their job. They're acting.
They're doing
what
great.
What
They're doing fine.
No, well,
Exactly.
yeah, they're doing fine. I'm
It's
saying,
clear that there's no direction.
yeah, that's the thing. And people are going to make an argument, because I heard this argument now that, oh, well, the original trilogy then had a direction.
Yeah.
But the issue with the original trilogy is they pulled it off very well, while the sequel
They did.
trilogy pulled it off their ass.
They did, because, I mean, again, like, I don't know. Like someone said earlier, I don't know who said it earlier, but they said that the sequel trilogy did have a change in directors.
That's not an argument.
But it's very clear that that change in directors did.
Affect
It's
that
pretty clear
story.
that they did communicate behind the scenes. to make this overarching
They did not.
story
You want to know
happen.
why? Ryan Johnson. Guess what he did? He literally read the script. He didn't even watch the movie, and then he.
I'm going to be honest. I feel like there's a problem. I'm hesitant to just put all the blame on one person. I feel like, because I mean that'd be too convenient. You know, you have like
No. It's not. It's not Ryan Johnson. I mean, yeah, I blame him, but it's not his fault. It's
yeah. I mean, there's plenty of blame for him, but I'm just saying, like it's not like all him.
No, it's the CEO. It's literally Kathleen Kennedy.
It's
She's to believe.
Disney institutional.
Well, not just Disney, but Kathleen Kennedy. Here's my reason why. First of all, she's the reason that the Clone Wars got canceled out. Do you want to know how much money that would have made them? Because Clone Wars was was big.
No, fuck
The Clone Wars was canceled in 2012.
Wait, what happened?
What?
What happened? Wait, she canceled the Clone Wars?
Well, I don't know who did, but I know she greenlighted that. And I'm like, are you serious? You cancel one of the best shows. I don't care that it's in Cartoon Network. It would have given you money. But, you know,
all I'm saying is that as soon as it's owned by Disney, people should have seen the writing on the wall.
Not only that, Rebels was okay, I guess. It wasn't as big as it could have been. But
well, it's a kids show.
No, you want to know a kid's show? Resistance, and that one is utter crap. But besides,
what made you pull out one of the most loved characters in the best version of Spider-Man? Money.
Hey, that's a good point actually with Spider-Man. Is that's another example of how I feel like the institutional sort of what do you call it, the studio, right? You know, the studio, I get it. You know, like a movie is a big investment that and you know, I'm a finance dude. I'm a finance major. But, you know, I get it that the studio is taking a big risk, investing millions of dollars for a profit that'll happen maybe like half a decade from when they start investing. That's a big investment. That's a risky investment. So they want to make sure they make money back, which means they want to play the safe movies rather than the hardcore movies, right?
Yeah, but look,
from a business perspective. But the problem is that it fucks up movies, and so you have movies like Suicide Squad that come out and stuff like that, where it's just Hollywood barf. I don't know what you call it. It's Hollywood barf, where there's.
I think that's a good word to call it.
Because I mean, like, there's nice little individual scenes, maybe.
Hollywood barf.
You can see where certain people with a passion for the craft kind of had their little mark on it, but overall it just doesn't work because in the end, and like same with like Cats. Remember Cats? That was once one of the biggest Broadway. That was the biggest Broadway performance there was, and it's been that way for decades. And then it's like the studio has to get involved and keep saying, "Oh well, no, we're not going to make animated Cats. We're going to make it where there's people that are half cats, half naked humans, and it's going to look really creepy." It's just like,
why are we back to Lola Bunny?
Okay, hear me out. So you think this is creepy, but you think this is attractive.
Look at the difference between the two. Like, honestly.
No, Lola's.
Yeah,
okay, unironically. First off, I think that's an edit from a ghetto meme where it's like Lola Bunny and
where the hell is my Lola Bunny merch?
Hey, they made her.
That's a moment. There's not much of a difference.
There's much. There's much of a difference, but
look at that badonkadonk, dude.
Look at their like.
I don't know why. I don't know why you had to bring up. All right, well, Mr. Furry
they're
needs.
so weirdly naked, all of them. What the fuck?
Maybe it's just unnatural.
Painted, you dumbass.
Oh, God.
It's creepy.
My point is, it's creepy.
Oh, look at Judi Dench. Scroll up to Judi Dench.
It's creepy to think this is attractive.
Well, duh. Look at Judi Dench right there. Hold on, click on Judi Dench. Nope. Okay, that's not you. Okay.
Sorry. Where? What?
Is the white one. There you go. There you go. There you go.
It's a call.
Nope.
All right, let's get back to Star
Either
Wars.
way, they're creepy.
Let's get back to.
Main thing
I
is
can
they're
tell
creepy.
y'all a story that beats Disney Star Wars in rates of suckiness.
Okay.
Mm.
And I don't say that lightly, my friends. But when I say that Doobie is like,
Doobie, is it the thing you keep promoting in Discord?
no, I promote The Last Unicorn because that is a great movie and we should have a day about it. But Doobie, look that up. Just look up Doobie. No, the movie. Doobie the movie. No, it's with a Y.
Doobie?
It's a Y.
Wait, the name is Doobie?
Yeah.
Like roll a doobie?
Oh.
It should be of a bear.
I got Dobie.
Oh, that's from Curtis Con. I know what you're talking about.
Exactly. Have you seen that movie?
Wait.
And
And wait,
what's the name?
put a Star Wars Clone Wars.
Star Wars.
It's not Doobie, it's Gooby with a G.
Oh, it's Gooby. My bad. Gooby. Thank you.
Uncultured swine.
I don't know
Yeah,
what we're doing now. And this is.
It was so bad that I forgot the real name. That's terrifying.
You know, at least this might actually be better than anything Disney will create because they're not creative anymore.
No, this is a horror movie in disguise. It is about a psychotic bear, a psychotic teddy bear that comes to life, abuses this little kid. This little kid develops Stockholm syndrome, and then after the entire movie, Doobie's like, Gooby is like, I gotta go to another human now, and so he's like, man, Gooby, you've helped me grow, but no, he just developed Stockholm syndrome and just fucking messed with this kid the entire time, and just
It's about a schizophrenic kid with a bear imaginary friend or some shit. He just saw.
and through and all this shit, and he's like,
He's a real
yeah.
goober. He's a real goober.
No. No
It's
puns.
terrifying. I wouldn't even pee in his direction.
All right, let's get to the actual thing we want to do, and let's trash the sequel trilogy. Let's honestly bury it to
Oh
the.
yeah, okay. Sequels suck ass.
Stupid Ray haircut.
I don't.
David James Elliott? Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, Ray is disgusting.
Ray. I pronounce it Ray with the W in front.
Ray is disgusting.
Here's
Look
the
at
thing.
that haircut. Look at that 3 buns.
Tell you what though, the actress did a solid job. I hope she stars in more shit.
She's cute.
Yes.
That's all I
Also,
could say
she's
about
cute as
Ray.
fuck. NGL, she is fucking hot.
Amazing.
Like if you ignore this, she does look cute.
She is
Yeah,
a tomboy GF.
I don't know
Yeah,
about that. I mean, if anything, I think what
Look at that.
I don't know.
She's a sweaty tomboy.
She's a 7 out of 10. She's not.
What?
She's a sweaty tomboy GF.
There's not a lot of females
Look at
in
that.
Star Wars. Hell,
Dude, you're kidding. Look, dude.
I'm sorry. I just.
No, that's fair enough.
I mean, look, Ray. I mean, she's cute and all, but it's just her personality is bland. It's blank.
Oh, I would be terrified of Ray. She would crush me in my sleep with her force accidentally in the middle of a bad dream. But
Okay, Ray,
the person
is
herself
like
in
a
real
5
life,
out of
yeah.
10. Daisy Ridley, a 9 out of 10.
Ray herself is the type of girl to just smush you accidentally.
Well,
when
she
you're-
was looking
I
for her
don't know.
parents for most of the movie. That's the thing, and it kind of killed it. But for me, after the second movie's little funniness, but I said, let's finish the trilogy, and then I find out
God, look at this. Duh,
Oh,
duh,
guys,
9 out of 10.
guys, those lips.
Okay,
Sorry.
this is not a time. We gotta
Hey,
trash.
Look at
I told you guys, Daisy Ridley without that hair and just Daisy Ridley, she is banging, dude. I told you guys, Ray is like a out of 10 when you look at this chick. Like,
Oh, hey, wait.
Quarantine.
Hold on. Look up.
it's not even horniness. It's just appreciating a human form. Like,
Wait,
they
oh my
just have-
god.
Here, look up.
Where the hell is Oscar? Where the hell's your boyfriend, Lauren?
Hey, who plays Poe? Who plays Poe again?
My boyfriend's sweet.
John Boyega.
Stay away from. Last time I heard from him was like around 6 or 7.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna give you some good from Poe.
Wait,
Good
Poe? I thought you were saying Finn.
Oh, in a
Poe.
suit. In a suit.
All right, I'll show them more Lego cutscenes because Lego is fun. Okay, wait. Okay, so here's an idea. Okay, let's just talk about one movie at a time so we can trash it as a consistency. The Force Awakens.
Here's a good movie, by the way, with Poe Dameron's actor in it too.
Which one?
I'll post it in general so you can post on the whatever you call it. But that's an example of
shitty out of them.
perfect example of an actor from the Star Wars movies doing good in a movie.
Here, let me see if I can just show you guys what kind of got my attention. Wait, are you in the general chat of the...
Yeah, I put it in the general chat as a bit of Poe Dameron just dancing.
I don't want to get copyrighted, but I'll keep that in mind.
You're not going to get copyrighted. Come on.
That hideous abomination. What's wrong with you?
Well, I don't know. He's pretty disgusting looking. Look at him.
Trubbish is more disgusting looking than that.
I saw this one. It was like a hippo, but instead of like the eyes were where the ears should have been. I didn't want to catch it.
Hippopotamus or Hippowdon?
I honestly, how have they not invented like a flamethrower in the Pokemon universe?
Oh yeah, okay, I've seen this before. Yeah, it's yeah, he's good on that.
Yeah, Ex Machina's good, dude. It's fucking good.
Here, I want to show.
Oh, and you know what else? Oh shit! It has General Hux in that one too. Doesn't it?
It does.
Oh my god! What a coincidence.
Here, I wanted to just show you guys what good fighting is.
Yeah.
And it's just Clone Wars. It's just pure Clone Wars I want to show. Just to show how Clone Wars is, and even Mandalorian, is better than anything Disney has done. Maybe Rogue One, and I do like Solo despite its flaws, but everything else is just... no.
I don't like that Solo made every part of Han Solo's character be developed within that one little mission that he did.
To be fair...
listening to the Poe Dameron video.
Is it playing?
It's fucking addicting, dude. I don't know what the deal is. It's the way they move.
You want to know something though? Because George Lucas helped make the Clone Wars, and literally throughout that entire Clone Wars, General Grievous and Anakin never meet. They never see each other in person.
Which is bullshit.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
You do realize that in Revenge of the Sith, they literally meet each other there for the first time.
I know, and I hate it. I feel like they should have definitely encountered each other at least once, considering they fought a war against each other.
It's just literally. There's so many.
I guess if the Clone Wars explains it away, though, that's fine. Because I'm sure they did a good job of it.
Hey,
to watch, but...
that shows how much they care about Star Wars. They even did that detail.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, yeah, that's a good point.
So, you cannot tell me that Clone Wars is not one of the best, if not, it's the perfect way of representing Star Wars. And then we got the sequel trilogy, which is utter trash. Maybe not The Force Awakens enough, but because of Last Jedi
Force Awakens will be fine, I think.
What is the strongest lightsaber?
There's no... Wait, what? I don't think there is a strongest lightsabers.
There's not really such thing as strong as lightsaber.
There's like the rarest.
Lightsaber that has never been seen in the movies. The light whip has got to be among the strongest and most menacing types of weapons in the Star Wars universe.
Why do you want a British person?
The
Sure.
three white.
Here's some information from the web that might possibly help.
Okay.
On the website.com, they say 3LIGHTWHIP.
No, they have Mace Windu's lightsaber, which I'm pretty sure is designated for the leaders of the whatchamacallit. And you got the black one, which is the Mandalorian one. But like, I don't think any of them are like necessarily stronger. They're just like more rare.
They're rare. They're rare. That's the
Like,
thing.
if you have a rare lightsaber, then you're more prestigious. You know, you're in the
Okay.
universe.
Hey Google, what's the rarest lightsaber?
There you go.
Look at this.
Wait, I'll have to go
These were
back
the
and.
used.
Yellow lightsabers are some of the
Get in
rarest
on the whip. Because I'm going to acknowledge.
TBH, if someone came
Alright,
in
well-
with an actual pistol, they would have wrecked everyone in the Star Wars universe.
Exactly. But the thing about the lightsabers, also it doesn't work out because if we're going by the lightsabers are pure light, right?
To a
Is
degree.
that what I'm saying?
Here, watch
Like
it.
it's just energy.
It's powered by the Force. In the Clone Wars, it explains that a lightsaber is created by the Cyber Crystal, which is basically the power energy, and it has like
Kyber.
Kyber Crystal, and the Kyber Crystal itself will depend
Just
on the
bust your
user.
balls.
Like blue would signify more of a user who likes more of fighting rather than the Force, and green is more on the Force user than a fighter.
Yo.
Red though,
Purple just means you're a badass.
red.
Exactly.
The thing with red is you make a cyber or a kyber crystal bleed. You break it
Yeah.
and make it bleed, and then it turns red. Now white ones is you purify the red one.
So the thing is, if we're talking about like light waves and frequencies and all that, the one with the highest energy, they got it right, is violet. So technically, that should be the strongest lightsaber if we're going by strength of light waves and shit like that. Red, however, has the lowest frequency and isn't really shouldn't be as strong as
Well, but that's just the light part. I mean, like, they're called lightsabers, but I mean, they're not like literally just made of light. I
I've
don't think.
never
I don't know what
seen
they are
this
made
light
of.
whip before. I had no idea it exists.
So like there was like a proto saber back in the days before any of the movies or any of the comics and shit like that. There was something called the proto saber where they had like a pack strapped onto the side of a person, and then it had a wire going to the bottom of the sword, and the sword was really bulky, and it was just this like proto saber. And so like, there's a YouTube video actually where someone tries to make a proto saber, and I think they kind of succeeded, but I mean, or succeeded as best they could, but it's basically like, it's not like really a lightsaber and that it's just purely light. It's more like plasma something. I don't really know. I mean, obviously, it's like not physically possible
Hey,
in
Google,
our universe because you'd have to deflect plasma bolts with a thing, which is absurd. But technically, we are a part of the Star Wars canon since Star Wars takes place in our universe just a long time ago and far away.
Ha!
That's kind of cool. So technically, we are all canon.
I guess.
We are. We are. I mean, it's really far-fetched, and no one will ever acknowledge that. But it's kind of cool.
But let's get back to track because Disney's trying to change us
So
from.
yeah,
Let's go to Last
Sorry,
Jedi.
I just got really interested in the weapons of Star Wars universe, and that light whip reminds me of Zero Suit Samus, where she goes.
yeah, Light was pretty dope.
Let's go to something about the Last Jedi. What they break continuity 5 times.
Yeah, so number one is the big one that everyone seems to talk about, which is fuel.
That is such a load of baloney.
It is. Luke just decides to not be a Jedi anymore. That's
Not only that, because apparently people are like, well, Yoda and Obi-Wan went into hiding and all, and the argument I'm gonna give is, the Empire was around. Luke has his sister like ruling the Republic. He could have warned them that, hey, your son might have turned to the dark side.
Yeah.
Also, it does a disservice to Luke that all of a sudden is this. Oh, my father who killed younglings, who killed so many people. Let's redeem him because I feel good in him. And then his nephew has bad dreams. Oh, time to die.
Wait, so Luke was going to kill Kylo Ren, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't care
I knew
if
it!
I don't.
I fucking knew it. I tried to explain this to someone. So this man had a dream. A dream, mind you. He didn't actually do anything yet. And the fucking man's like, oh, I need to kill this child. This child.
That's against Luke's character. That is
If you wake up
completely.
in the middle of the night with a man trying to kill you, I think that's gonna fuck you up later in life, right? I think so.
This
So
is what I would have done.
make Kylo Ren who he is today.
This is what I would have done.
And
I would have had it that Luke is saying to himself, well, I redeemed my father so I can redeem my nephew, and it fails. That's what I would have done. Because it fits with his character.
Honestly, I would have just not even done the whole I would have just had Ben Solo be mainly light side but with some dark side tendencies rather than dark side with some light side tendencies.
Isn't that literally a copy of Darth Vader?
Maybe, but I mean, isn't Luke just a copy of Darth Vader too? I mean, it's like that's the Luke story. That's the Skywalker cookie cutter thing.
First of all, the story was not about Darth Vader at first. It just happened to head to that direction.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a reason why it had that direction because it was just the naturally best story. And honestly, I think that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They did the story with Luke, and then they did this, and where he could have turned to the dark side, especially during the 6th episode when he started to use his anger, and then he decided to go against it. And then you also had, obviously Darth Vader, where it was a similar thing, but instead he chose the dark side. Could have done the same exact thing with Ben
No, but he didn't learn not to let go, though. That's why he turned to the dark side. If he had learned to let go, he would have not had what's it called? He wouldn't have went for Palpatine's help and a whole bunch.
I just don't see any reason why Ben went to at least Darth Vader had some motivation as far as he wanted to save his family. His mother died in front of him and stuff, and he was fucked.
I think if his mother survived, he wouldn't have went to the dark side.
Central. Why did Ben Solo turn in the first place?
I don't know. He was consumed by hate. It's all that I got from
the script needed him to.
Basically.
Because I mean, at least Darth Vader, he had his own mother die in his arms, and he didn't even know his dad or anyone, and he was just born a slave, and everything sucked for him.
He had a reason. He honestly had a reason to want what's it called? To turn to the dark side, but
he had reasons. But then Ben just did it because Disney said, "Hey, you're evil." It's kind of strange.
I mean, it's not just that. It's the fact that they mistreated Luke, and they keep doing that. Because apparently a book says that someone says, oh, Luke destroyed the Death Star. It's like, oh no, Jin did all the work. Luke just happened to fire the damn thing. I'm like, why are you disrespecting Luke? Yeah, well, this is a whole nother back to the Gary Stu argument, but it's like, he still blew up the Death Star.
Yeah, he also did just sit on his ass while the rebels lost time and time again to the Empire. And so then what was it, episode 80? They were just one capital ship and a few other ships, and that was it that they had. And it's why do the rebels even exist? They're just gonna fall apart every time the Empire comes towards them.
There's an agenda against Luke. There honestly is, because everyone's loved the character that everyone looks up to, because he's
great. He is great. He is a genuinely good character.
But it's not just that. Even Anakin should have appeared at least in Rise of Skywalker, and he did not.
You know what Luke's problem is? I'm gonna go on a hard stretch here, and I'm gonna sound pretty fucking... it's gonna sound crazy, but I truly do, that Luke's only problem now, there was no issue when the original movies were made, but now his only problem is that he was a man. And now social agendas have been pushing that, oh, we want more female representation. We want more this. We want more that. We want more this. So now they're like, okay, we'll pander to these agendas.
And look what happens. You lose your fans. But you want to know something? I don't know why people are saying that because some people are saying, oh, the men are the problem. And we're going to break them. Ahsoka Tano. I know you guys don't watch the Clone Wars, but she is one of the most loved characters. Hell, they brought her back for Rebels. That's the only reason she ever came back in Rebels. Because she was the most hated character in Clone Wars, but she built her audience. She earned her part as one of the best. Leia. She's one of the most loved characters for male and females. Padme. She is still loved by many. And Clone Wars made her even better. Like, for any agenda saying that us apparently...
she fought in the Coliseum, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
so there's that. But I'm saying that they gave her more depth in Clone Wars as well. Hell, there's female assassins. There's even the men...
Either way, I don't think it's about gender, because, I mean, honestly, I don't care if it's female or male or whatever. I don't give a fuck. But what I do care about is just, like, is the character itself good? Is the character written well? That's what I care about. I don't care about whatever else. But,
can you notice whenever they're pushing an agenda?
Well, to make Rey, they had to trash Luke. Like, that was their only option. Because there can't be two chosen ones.
Here's what no, you want to know what they did with that? When they announced Rey, they said she's gonna be
14?
What?
Fuck. Hey y'all, I gotta go.
Oh. Alright.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta go. Already doing fuck. Oh, my morning's gonna suck. Oh god. Okay. Night.
Here, Laura, let's finish the argument before I end the video, so that way we can, because you're a female, and this really helps, at least this argument. Rey was built to pander to these people, in the sense that they announced that she's going to be this strong female character. That was their push. It wasn't that, it wasn't about a story, and, it just so happens to have a female lead. It's literally the push of, let's push this female character and and make sure people know that she's the best. People defend Rey for whatever reason. I used to defend her that, maybe she has an interesting arc. It wasn't until Last Jedi that I was pissed at Luke at first. But then I realized Rey is overpowered for whatever reason. And like Lee said about Luke, how he happened to learn the Force and everything within a few days. Rey is even worse.
She learned it just by thinking. She was like, yep, I can do it now.
Ahsoka, and these people, these Twitter people mostly, are like, men are the problem. They don't care about women. Ahsoka. Here's the big fucking evidence. Ahsoka. Literally the one character that it's odd that she is literally like 17 at the end of the Clone Wars, which caught me off guard. But she is loved by many because she is the best. Rey is crap. And what do you want in the Star Wars universe?
Oh, is that a question? What I would have loved to see is, like, what happened after all of that. Like, I want to know more. I would have liked to see, hey, Luke took a rise and actually did more stuff. He did all this, and he became like Aang in The Last Avatar. What makes these characters so great, what makes characters great most of the time, is their struggle to get to where they are, like in Naruto. And, well, I mean, Naruto did, I know that some people say, well, Naruto had all these gifts given to him. Yeah, I know, that's true. But he did have to, and he's still an idiot, I know. But he still had to, like, train and do more.
I like how you admit that, but your hate is more to Sasuke.
But with Rey, it's just like, yep, I can do it. I don't care. You don't need any explanation at all of why I can do it without training. I can just do it. And they have no depth to her. They added no depth, and at first I liked her. I was like, that's cool that they have a strong female character. But then the more I started to think about it, the more I'm like, she doesn't fit in here though. Like they just pushed. She was just like the Captain Marvel. They're like, she's cool. That's all we want you to believe. We don't want you thinking about anything else aside from Rey being a badass. But they don't explain why. Like, why is she so good at this? She just picked up a lightsaber.
I know.
Why is she so good at using the Force? She just got out of the fucking sand.
Wait, but like,
desert.
didn't we have like a
wasteland.
9-year-old? Like, didn't we have like a 9-year-old Annika like just take down a battleship?
Difference between the two is that Rey throughout all the movies is the same. With Anakin, at least they kind of redeem that aspect of it. But Rey just can do whatever she wants. Also, am I still even on the stream?
I got Google.
Oh, I was showing off like moments that I was really mad about the Rise of Skywalker. Because honestly, the Rise of Skywalker is such BS regarding the fact that
After Rogue One, I stopped caring, and after Jedi, I just gave up.
And what about Solo?
No, I didn't.
It's not that bad. I mean, my friend, this was funny. This was super
It's
funny.
honestly forgettable.
My friend Pedro thought, because my high school like seniors, we all went to watch it together for free, and one of my friends refused to watch it. He says the only thing he counts canon is the Darth Vader killing everyone scene from Rogue One.
Yeah.
But besides the point, Pedro thought that the reveal at the end of the movie was gonna be Snoke, but it was Darth Maul, and he was caught off guard. And we all laughed. But it wasn't just that. It was that at the beginning of Solo, he's like, everyone be quiet. Because you know how the normal logo, like Star Wars, and then it does yeah. Nope. Solo didn't do that. And I kid you not, my friend Pedro was like, what the fuck? In a theater, and we all burst out laughing. Like, I think as much as Solo's not a good story, I think the fact that I enjoyed it with my friends, what they did, made it enjoyable. Like, we could probably watch a movie and just crap on it and just enjoy the hell out of it like that. But
yeah, like 50 Shades of Grey. I watched that with an ex. I had no idea what was going on, but it was enjoyable just because we both walked out of there laughing. We were like, "What the fuck did we just pay to see?"
I don't
and
even.
Why did we see it? And why did you let me drag you?
No, do not. That's not. No, I'm not gonna have a scene of 50
But I
Shades
mean,
of.
I get it. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. It's sort of the same thing.
But no,
But
with the Rise of Skywalker, literally the first viewing, I watched it. I'm like, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. I did got punched by my friend because she got mad at me for actually getting him right. But it's like, I'm sorry, but I just don't have the same emotion of. I literally hate it. Palpatine's back. Rey does a whole Iron Man thing where Palpatine's like, I am all the Sith, and Rey's like, and I'm all the Jedi, and then all of a sudden manages to overpower Palpatine. That was such a load of BS. And Palpatine, he keeps firing lightning. Stop firing lightning. This is the second time you hit yourself with lightning, but this time you actually kill yourself. Like,
I don't know. See, I'm gonna go back to the Han Solo movie. I did watch it. It's just it's forgettable, and I didn't really like it. Like, I could find myself like having to wake myself up again, and it's just the story. I don't think Han should have really gotten. I liked him when he was more mysterious. I don't like that they did dive deeper into his character. I liked that he did maintain that.
He only had 1/3. He only had 1/3 of development because there's.
But I don't think he needed that 1/3. I think he was a perfectly fine character on his own.
I agree. He didn't really deserve. There was no point to it. I mean, they could have just done a movie of Obi-Wan that everyone has been asking for. Because yeah, we know what Obi-Wan's.
I don't trust Disney with that.
No, I don't know. Because you want to know something? Everyone reads the script that was gonna be for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and it looks good. But Kathleen Kennedy's like, nah, this doesn't look good. Redo it. I'm like, her judgment is in pushing empowerment of female. Her whole thing,
That's what I'm saying. Like, Luke's only problem now is that he was a man.
Luke had a problem that, but then again, he was supposed to be a whiny kid. Because think about it, he's one of those kids that just wants to leave the house, so he's obviously whiny. But he grows up. He lost his hand. Like, he honestly lost his hand, and that's when he finally snapped out of it.
Yeah, but either way, I'm saying, like, in the... What movie is it that we're shitting on really hard?
What? The Rise of Skywalker? No, the Last Jedi?
Either one. Either way, I don't know the movies by their names too much. I just know them by their scenes. Luke just... His only... What was I saying? Oh yeah, that he's a man. They're just pushing social agendas, and Luke doesn't fit into that agenda, so they're wiping him out. That's it.
They're wiping every male character as best they can. That's the whole thing they want to do.
Yeah.
Because if
and their only problem is that they're a man. That's it. That's what I'm saying. That's why that Rey was being pushed so hard, is because they wanted empowerment, and they're gonna ruin the story for it. And they did ruin the story for it.
And their argument, for those who didn't like it, is, oh, well, you're sexist. And guess what?
Yeah, you're sexist. You must hate women, right? Like, we're just empowering women. Like, no. That I'm fine with women empowerment. I am fine with a female lead character. Do not get me wrong, but you can do that without destroying the other gender, right? Like, I can raise women without saying men are shit, right? Like, I can do that. And you can also do that without ruining the story. Like, you can't, just because you want a female lead character, you can work into that.
Not only that, I mean,
just change the story.
If you honestly pay attention to the Rise of Skywalker, there's a scene where two girls kiss, but it's like a 5-second scene that can be cut off. And when I noticed, I'm like, are you fucking serious? It's not that it happened. It's the way that it doesn't fit at all with the story. There's no purpose to it.
It's sort of like with Legend of Korra. They just threw that shit in there. Like, yep, we're gonna randomly put this because it's gonna pander to an audience, and that's gonna make us look great, right? Well, yeah, but you don't need to.
Sometimes a lot of movies will put it like towards the end or only for a few seconds, because like some countries will just ban it, or they'll like cut scenes.
And they have nothing to lose because it's the end of the movie. But yeah, I get that. But
cut it
this
out.
wasn't the end. They're planning to continue, right?
Like the same thing happened with Adventure Time, where they like basically like were like, yeah.
Oh no! Well, Adventure Time did it smart though, because they honestly did it at the very freaking end of the series. They teased it though. Like I may not agree with that because that was completely out of left field, honestly, because they're in a freaking battlefield.
I'm not saying, because like I don't know the relevance of it, just because like I haven't like seen it, but I'm saying that like that might be the reasoning for why they only put like a little snippet. That way, like it can be re-edited for different countries. Where, like,
but as I said, if it fits for the story, then they can do it. Yeah, screw the other countries in the sense. But no, I mean, I don't give a crap about that. Honestly, when it comes down to that kind of stuff, I don't really care, because that's irrelevant to me in the sense that it doesn't fit whatever I think. I think more on the story, and if it doesn't fit for the story, then don't fucking have it for the story.
I know, but I'm saying like I don't know like the context, but like
oh no, the Adventure Time one I never really saw. I know it was in a battlefield, but I never really saw that one. But for the Star Wars one, that one was super fucking unnecessary.
But I'm saying maybe they might have like filmed other scenes, and maybe they just might have gotten like completely deleted because like
they could have. I mean, it's possible that they just put it in there, and other countries could cut it out. But I mean, I get what Ronnie's saying too. Is like, if it's completely unnecessary, and you're gonna plan to continue, like with Adventure Time, they teased it, and it was the end. So they could do it, and if it got deleted, then it was the end of the series. You know, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, Star Wars is planned to continue. I'm assuming
They'll continue a
planned to
story.
continue,
Like
and
they'll have more stories
and
to
it has
add
nothing to
and
do with the
stuff.
story. And they could have added that 5 seconds. That could have been that could have they could have beaten that Vader scene in that 5 seconds. You don't know. They could have used that 5 seconds to have an amazing fucking lightsaber scene, but they chose to. And if it was a forgettable moment, like you want to put something like that in a moment where it's going to be remembered, where it's going to hit hard in your audience, because that's a ship that is saying these two are canon now. You can't fight this anymore.
I mean, you want to know something funny though? Something
a big shock. You want that to stay with people. And if it's easily forgettable, like Ronnie's saying, then it's not doing what it's supposed to anyway.
It sounds like queer baiting vibes too. Kind of just like, yeah, we like the gays. Like,
yeah.
But then after that, they'll send a version that doesn't have it. Like it's either you pander or you don't. Don't play the middle ground because you're just gonna get hate from both sides. But I was gonna say something funny. That scene of those two kissing, honestly, a YouTuber I follow and listen to as well, he literally didn't notice it till the third view. I'm like, I saw it through the first one because, well, it's noticeable for me, and it's only noticeable because I know any annoying scenes. I'm used to knowing like, oh, this is a stupid scene. But oh man, was that such stupidity? Like people were shipping Poe and Finn the most, and when that didn't happen, because JJ was like, "We'll add a LGBT, well, the alphabet, because I can no longer know what alphabet are we in, or what letter in the alphabet that they added." No offense of anything, but it's just I get tired of having to try to remember all those letters in whatever order they are. But what I'm going with is they wanted Finn and Poe. J.J. Abrams like, don't worry, we have a scene, we have something for you guys, but it's just a little snippet of a scene. So you're basically cheating out of your audience at the same time.
yeah, because then they're like getting everybody to sit through like a 2-hour movie. Like, hey, there's something gay in here, and a bunch of people watch it just like, yeah, gay representation, and then no.
Not only that, Disney cut off a scene about like Padme being like represented as this like the pilots like back then they would draw like females or on their like ships and stuff. And there was like a scene in Clone Wars about that, and Disney was like, "Oh, it's too sexual." No. And it's like, Disney, it's for comedy for Anakin because he's going to get jealous seeing Padme like that because of these clones, and it's going to be funny. Hell, no one had a problem with that. Like the thing with Disney, at least Disney I've seen, but other companies are starting to do is they'll pander to these weirdos on Twitter who even threaten J.J. Abrams because Kylo Ren and Rey can't be together. And it's like, are you serious? You want to pander to these people? These people who honestly are crazy, who don't have a life? It's just, I don't know what is it with these companies wanting them. Like at least the Sonic movie gave them the middle finger and like, nah, we're changing the design for the fans. Or what other movie did this? Literally any good movie. Because the issue I have with Harley Quinn is they pushed it like the Birds of Prey. They pushed it as a what's it called? Female empowerment movie, and that really no one cares. They want a good story. Yeah, if it has a female lead, then good. It'll be a good story still, but it has to be story first. You do pandering. It's like the new saying, "Go woke, go broke." You go woke, you're gonna go broke. But what do you guys think?
Oh, I think Lauren's audio is messed up.
I think
Hey,
she's.
Lauren, just like end your call and then connect again. I've had that happen before on Discord.
We'll show some scenes.
I see what you mean though. Like, it kind of takes away from female empowerment to just like not write a good script, in my opinion.
I mean, I assume you all enjoy female empowerment, but you guys don't want it 24/7.
No.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes there just won't be like a storyline, if that makes sense.
No, it gets all blurry. That's why right now the story writers, if you pay attention to one of the trailers that are like their storyboard, it literally has like diversity and female empowerment as one of their big goals to focus on. And it's like, I notice what you guys are doing. That's not gonna work. You're just gonna ruin the old republic. And that's
I'm
the
all for diversity, female empowerment, all of that stuff. I'm for it. I love it.
but
Not at the cost of story. Not
Yeah.
at the cost of, like, it. If you follow your story, it's not gonna make you. What am I trying to say? I don't know. I don't know the word. Like, there's a word for it, but I can't find it.
Wait, why do they have to like diss Luke though? Like, why can't they like still like kind of like lift him up while like adding another character?
Because that's not part of their agenda. Because the thing is, I feel
that's
bad
what
saying this, but I
was,
feel,
like-
but it's how I feel. I feel like they are taking, they are choosing one side, and they're doing that very well. In the sense that anyone who's not a man, you're done. You're out. You're
unless you're trashing
You're
the
not part of our social agenda. You're not gay. You're not trans. You're not any of that. All right, bye. Luke, he can't be the chosen one anymore. So yeah,
Because
like they
the thing
have
with
to.
like feminism though is that it's about like the equality of like women and men. You're not really making it about like equality if you just like completely shun a character.
Exactly. That's why I like more feminism and subtle actions. I find that more appealing just because, if you go too hard, which they are doing as they destroyed Luke, they're not feminists, they're feminazis. It's a big distinction I want to make, that I'm not shitting on feminism, I'm shitting on feminazis, and that's clearly what they did to Luke was a feminazi thing of, he's a man, we want Rey as our chosen one, we're gonna fuck Luke and just write him out, and then we can just write our own shit in, because we can do that now.
Also, something weird. What about the weirdos who are so mad that apparently Rey and Kylo Ren are not together, and they get mad at the director and start literally giving him death threats, which I think that's overkill at this point. Like, I get you're mad that your favorite ship, like for me, obviously I'm mad that Sora and Kyrie aren't together, but I'm not gonna give shit to Nomura. It's like his story. Yeah, I'm hoping he puts them together, but if they don't get together, I'm not gonna go send them death threats or anything of that. That's absurd. At that point, you gotta know that your audience, that type of audience, is not people you want to pander to.
Well, I'm sure in every single fandom, I'm sure there are people threatening whoever that person is that you mentioned, that their ships aren't. I'm sure in every single fandom there's some diehard, because, like Joe Rogan said, I said this once in another place, you get 100 people together, a group of 100 people together, what is the chance that one of them happens to be an idiot? It's going to be 100%. And that's not the entire group, that's just a person in there. So I'm sure there's like a bunch of people in every single fandom that have that same yandere, I'm gonna kill you if they don't get my ship. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, it's crazy to think that you didn't even write the story. You can't force. As a writer, it's like I love hearing comments and feedback on my fanfics. But if anyone were to tell me you have to do this, oh my god. I would be so mad. Like, you're lucky I'm putting this out there for you, you dipshit. How about you accept what I'm writing?
I mean, you can have criticisms that they didn't like where you went with it. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine, but there's a difference between that, because I know people in the comments are gonna be like, oh, well, there it's criticism. It's like, no, there's a difference between criticism and then being an asshole.
Yeah, and death threats. Like, we're criticizing about something we didn't like, and yeah, we're being pretty critical. Like, we're not.
Like, here, I'll actually like I'll shut people up because they say, oh, I have nothing good to say about The Last Jedi or like anything Disney Star Wars. It's like, here, I'll give you guys some stuff I like. The Rise of Skywalker, Chewbacca getting a medal. I think that was pretty sweet, pretty on the nose. A bit annoying because it's like it's literally a few fans that will catch that stuff, because the new generation aren't gonna catch that. Um,
Yeah.
let's see what else. I did like how Palpatine stole the life force. I think that's a cool ability, but then again, I'm already mad at the fact that Palpatine's alive and with no explanation. So, you know, it kind of 50-50 on itself. Last Jedi.
I mean, it has its moments, but as a whole, it's just I don't think it's that good.
Like, let me give an example of something I can say that I love, but it has problems. The Clone Wars. It is a perfect show, yes, but it started out very rough. Like, it was safe until it realized we cannot do this. We have to adapt to more like a teenager to adult audience, because otherwise our stories will be bland. Rebels has the problem that it's a kids show. I get it. It's a family. Although, granted, I looked at the first episode. Literally, like 5 stormtroopers got killed and murdered, and it's like they don't even pay attention to that. Like, Clone Wars is more about emotion and war. Rebels is literally about rebellion. They have a lot of differences. That's why it's very hard for me to kind of tell that, oh, well, Clone Wars is better than Rebels, but they have different kind of ways of where the story is going. For the sequels and prequels, yeah, the originals didn't have a direction, but at the very least they were like the direction was still like connected in a sense. The sequels are, let's see what people want. Oh, people don't want it to be a lot like the originals, then let's try to subvert expectations. Oh, people don't like that, let's give them fan service. And then compare that to the prequels, which, yes, George Lucas, he needs a lot of work with his writing, but at the very least he tried to tell a cohesive story. He actually tried to connect it all. Like, Darth Maul's killing Qui-Gon is why Dooku turned to the dark side, so it's connected. The whole thing with the clones is connected to the end of the trilogy, because, well, Order 66, which is probably the biggest thing that Star Wars will ever do, which is why I consider Revenge of the Sith to be one of the best Star Wars movies, because it took the narrative 100% that the villains won. Oh boy, I ran out of breath.
I'm gonna go back and also say that there's a difference between shitting and death threats.
Go ahead.
I just want to put that in real quick. Like, yes, we're shitting, but we're not threatening the director or any of the writers. We're just saying that, you know, they could have done their job better.
You sound like Oscar.
I really don't want your commenters to be like, well, these Green Warrior dude and his buddies just don't know anything, I guess. Like, just fucking hypocritical bitches. Like, no, we're not.
I don't know anything.
I mean, here, I'll tell you guys this. If you guys think that any one of us have like something against the agenda, first of all, for me at least, I will speak for myself, and you guys can speak for yourselves, because I don't want to misinterpret anything of you guys. For me at least, I don't really care about any agenda. I only care about like a story, at least regarding like story. In real life, it is very hard for me to talk about politics because I really distrust every politician. And I honestly think wipe everything out, start again with new people, actual trustworthy people that won't literally put the agenda first. Just that would be my case in political, but that's as far as I'm gonna go with that. And story wise, I'm just gonna say I only really care about the story. I could give a damn about the politics in it.
I agree.
And
I mean, I don't know. I feel like politics in general, it's actually the opposite. Like, they kind of just go for votes and they don't really, like, it's really all votes and money.
I mean, in a way,
Star Wars related.
I'll give politicians the fact that even though it is vote and money related, they still have to somewhat believe it to like, you can't just run for being a Democrat and then, be a Republican. I mean, you sort of have to believe some of their beliefs, right? To be able to, I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm not a politician and and I don't live that life, but I think that's how it works, right? Like you're in your respective party and you believe that, and then you just become to be a more piece of shit than you were already, or I don't know.
I mean, I think if you become a politician, there's a possibility to get corrupt. That's the thing. That's why I don't want to ever become a politician. As much as my friends say, "Oh, why don't you like back in high school?" It's like, why don't you go run for president? A, I don't want to become a corrupted asshole, and B, I don't like that stress. That stress seems like everyone's just gonna blame you to hell.
Oh yeah, that's so true. Why don't you want to be president? Because being the president sucks, and you can rule in other ways.
You start out as a good person, and then slowly you're destroyed by money and greed. And
that's everybody, I think.
You give up your original beliefs for power.
You will get corrupted, and for me, I as being the nice guy, I still can be corrupted.
Everyone can be corrupted. Let's just say that.
Yeah, but to the Star Wars thing, it's just we love Star Wars. Like at least I love it a lot. Lauren seems to have like actual feelings for it, and then Shelby is just there like listening.
Shelby's just here like, yeah, ooh, I'll agree with that. It sounds smart, dude. That's me though. That sounds smart, dude. That sounds well thought out on your part. Good job. I'm giving you a sticker.
That is this whole talk. Like, I don't know.
If you didn't give me a sticker, I'd be really happy, by the way. If my profile picture is any indication.
I will mail you some stickers. Send me your address.
But
I like stickers.
But we're only hard on Star Wars because we care. We want the story to be better. It's just a disappointing whenever people.
Star Wars great again.
Oh god damn it! Of course the whole.
I'm gonna binge watch the movies just because like I miss social interaction. So I'm gonna replace all my social interaction, but like binge watching Star Wars after this or something.
I mean, you could binge watch the Clone Wars. I'm telling you guys, the Clone Wars is the best freaking Star Wars content to date.
Look, Ronnie, I want you to stream The Last Unicorn. Then you can finally see what I'm talking about with that unicorn and the prince. If anybody in Ronnie's group has seen The Last Unicorn, comment, because like F in the chat to pay respects for the prince, by the way. Like F in the chat.
Nothing. The Last Unicorn.
The Last Unicorn is amazing. It was made in like 1982 or something, and it was beautiful, and it was a story about love and just a unicorn trying to find herself and then losing herself along the way.
How did we get here from Star Wars?
Okay, I found something odd. I want to distract in the Lego.
YouTube, I'm promoting Last Unicorn.
Yeah, I know you're promoting it again.
Do you want me to like?
What is it with you promoting? All right, well, I promote Star Wars and my stuff, so I'm not even gonna be a hypocrite. It's just that caught me off guard. That
the thing is with The Last Unicorn is it was my favorite movie as a kid. I mean, I'm talking about favorite. I would watch that shit like I watched. What's that movie? not Spy Kids. What's that movie about dreams with Lava Girl, Shark Boy and Lava Girl? Yeah, I watched that. Like I watched Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Like that was my shit.
Did you know?
And it's sort of like how you use Doki Doki. I used The Last Unicorn as my escape from reality and what was happening.
Wait,
Like,
why?
there's a-
Why did you have to bring
Kind of
Doki
side
into
character.
this?
There's a scene in
Because
Spy
it's the
Kids
only
was
thing that
seen
I know that has that connection.
All right, fair enough. I'll give you that. But in all
I don't
honesty,
know what else to use, dude. I don't know what you watch aside from that.
I mean, I watch a lot of stuff. Mostly Dragon Ball. Although I do have a. I'm not even gonna go into the whole religion aspect because that's a controversy within itself. But I will say
Why?
this: I think regarding Star Wars as a whole, it has great potential. It has great potential. Star Wars, like the new stuff, like I get it. They want to go MCU style of, oh, let us have like different movies and connect them like the MCU did. And then I don't know what I feel about that because the DC universe really didn't do it right, unless it's Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and a few others. But I just think if Star Wars is gonna do it, they gotta focus on the story first. It has to all focus on the story. No more political agenda pushing because otherwise it'll fail. And then
I
guess
don't know
what?
if it's too late for them though. Now,
I
like,
mean,
they destroyed their unless they just mechanically destroy the rest of the story to rewrite it, then that's the only way I can see it working. But they lose a lot of fans like us. Like I for one, I loved Star Wars. I for a long time I wasn't into it, and then my dad showed me 4, and I was like, this is amazing. What's the rest? And then this happened, and I'm like I just have no drive for it anymore. Like I wouldn't care what happens next, and that's it hurts my soul to say that because I loved it for a long time.
for me, Clone Wars actually lie. My mom said that Attack of the Clones, I watched it, but because I was so young, I wouldn't be able to remember anything of it. So the one thing that I remember that got me fully into Star Wars was Revenge of the Sith. So, the twist from Empire Strikes Back was not as impactful for me, but I got the twist. I understood it.
Wait, how would you even notice that?
I was a very smart kid somehow, but
It's like 2, 3,
Oh God, yeah,
Okay,
that is like
okay.
such a short scene.
like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. It is 2 seconds long.
what?
That kiss scene that you were talking about, it is 2 seconds long.
It's not even 5 seconds.
I guess my brain kind of just said 5 seconds because it's the normal amount.
Yeah, that
My
sounds like
God.
that was.
But look at the like and dislike ratio. You gotta love that.
I don't know how I feel about that. See, like when I see 2 characters, I want their relationship to mean something to me. I don't want it to be a 2-second thing. Like that kiss should have been solidified. It should have been in the forefront for 20 seconds, for 30 seconds. It should have had build up. It should have been.
But also, here's another thing, which I also have like a problem too, is just because 2 characters are like super close does not mean that they'll be in a relationship.
Absolutely.
I think
I
people
agree.
have to like. It's okay to ship. Like for me, about Sora and Kyrie. Like I even told Darkvine because she would not allow me to call her by her name. I told her this whenever we argued about Riku X or Sora X Riku or Kyrie. I told her this. We're both wrong in the sense that which one's going to be canon because Kingdom Hearts is more about the friendships than anything else. It doesn't
Yeah.
really value more of relationships. Not until obviously the creator decides, but it's more focused on friendships. There are arguments that this might lead to this, but that's just more of theories. They're not facts. They're more to support our claims, but until something happens, we're just theorizing, which isn't bad, but it can be bad if people, well, take it too far.
Yeah.
Like,
That's anything. Anything can be bad if you take it too far. Like water. Water. You drink too much water, it can kill you. You know. I mean, that's a bad comparison, but you get what I'm trying to say, right?
it's funny, but yeah, you could make the argument of that.
Well, but if you don't drink the water, what happens then? You don't drink the water.
Well, I see what's happening if you don't drink water with my friend's plants. She's not watering them, Shelby.
I didn't a single plant.
Oh no, hers are just straight up dying.
No, I have 26 plants. I only brought 2 of them with me to water them. And the other 24, they lived. Not a single plant died. That's
so
right.
Happy for you.
A month and a half. None of them.
I'm very happy for you, by the way.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm gonna try and salvage whatever's left of my friend's plants. My roommate.
Oh, wait, what?
My roommate's plant is basically dead. It's just in her room sitting there, and I'm like, why did you leave it to die?
Why didn't she ask you to water it?
Yeah, I had no idea it existed until I went into her room and brushed my cat in there. It's a long-haired cat too. It's not a short-haired.
Your cat was like, "Hey, come. There's a dead plant," and you're like, "Why are you going in that room, cat?" And the cat's like, "Come water the plant, please. It's dying."
But you know, let me put something in one of my videos of Clone Wars. I talked about how Ahsoka is able to go toe to toe with Maul and how impressive it is, and I got a few dislikes about that because that was the first time I got like very close. I still have more likes than dislikes, but it was very close. And I want to make a comment real quick. Regarding female empowerment again, and this one's Star Wars related. Ahsoka had training because she was Anakin's apprentice, and knowing Anakin, he's a very fighting person where he will go to the front lines himself. And it would be believable that if you're trained by someone who literally does a lot of combat, it is more theoretical that you will have that similar experience. So it's not out of the doubt Ahsoka would be able to face someone like Maul, who is very experienced. Granted, she'd never won outright like Rey beats Kylo Ren, which is why I get annoyed when people complain about females a lot. It's like, yeah, I get it. I don't like it either when they push it, but at the same time, don't overdo it as well, because it's like they're not over pushing it in this case because there's evidence to back up that, yeah, she has training.
It's true, because you're not like you said, Anakin, who's someone who's been like using the Force for years. They take someone under their wing. That person is gonna be amazing at what they do. Like it's like you see in the movies, like all those detective shows. Like, hey, this guy trained me right here. He taught me everything I know, and they turn out to be a badass. Like, yeah. It's for a reason. It's because their trainer was a fucking badass.
There's evidence to back it up. Not only that, it's even told that Ahsoka, since I guess her Jedi training started, she's always been a soldier. So what do you think? She's gonna have a lot of experience compared to others. And being trained by Anakin is even more of a plus.
So she's just like a super fighter. So yeah, that makes sense.
Although, I
but
mean,
it's just like with Rey, she had nothing and she knows everything for no reason. Even Luke had like 2 seconds of training. Even if what Lee said was true, which it probably is in some regard,
I still have an argument though, because your argument
very fast.
No, your argument was better because you said that, well, Luke is a bitch. He just happened to get lucky because everyone kept helping him. Because think about it. He had his partners, like, literally take all the hits for him. So it's not like he had Mary Sue that he managed to hold his own. No, he literally had a bunch of help.
What I'll say is that managed to play his part well, as in, like, he is what I'm going to call a runner, and the runner is supposed to just go to their spot, get there fast. They don't focus on anyone. That's the other player's job. The other people are going to take care of that. Your focus is getting here and shooting. You press R2. That's it. Go there, press R2. Go straight.
Yeah,
run, Forrest, run. And he did that very well.
Yeah, that's not Mary Sue though.
That's not a Mary Sue thing. No, that's just doing your job. He wasn't meant to be fighting. He was meant to go to his spot and blow that up. If he was out there fighting, then no one would have been able to go to the spot because that's his job. He's supposed to make the pew pews happen, the explodies. Yeah, that's supposed to be him.
But compared to Ray, as much as Daisy Ridley is like an honest,
super hot,
her character was just. I mean, Finn had the best arc because think about it. I was interested more in Finn's character because it's like he's literally a stormtrooper that ran away. We don't get that many stories.
They could have made that a story on its own. Like they could have just made that a story.
Also, you got the fact that apparently Finn, I don't know if you watched The Rise of Skywalker, but Finn screaming for Rey's name, and it's like hinted to be like, oh, he's gonna say he loves her. No, apparently he was gonna say that he has the Force, which honestly, having a a Force sensitive stormtrooper is much more interesting than Rey.
I agree, 100%.
Although
even Luke, who had just 2 seconds of training, she had none. Like we saw on the board in just 4, where he's like, "It's within you. You have to let your feelings go. It's training you. You reach with your feelings." We saw that, and I mean, even that's enough because we don't know how long 4 took place. Like how long over a span of time. Like we can make theories for like days, and we can make really good ones, but so far we can't be definitive. Like they didn't come out and say, yeah, it's 2 weeks.
I mean, no, because jumping through hyperspace tends to be like fast. But
I mean, yeah, I get that part, but like we don't know how long that mission took in actuality.
No, we probably don't, but it is stated within like at least the sequels that each movie like takes place like a few days, if not a month. And that actually gets me annoyed because Rey got powerful within like not even a full year.
Minutes.
And she even overpowered Luke. I don't care how old Luke is. Yoda was old and he still held his own.
Yeah, Yoda could beat Luke in a second.
They overkilled it. They overkilled it that apparently Force Ghosts can like manipulate weathers and stuff. Because at that point it's like, why didn't any Force Ghosts help anyone at this?
I don't know. I feel like for all the original watchers, like for the 4, 5, and 6 and prequel people like us, I think the story's ruined. But for like new generations, I feel like this is just going to be what they're going to watch, and now if they rewrite it well enough, then that's just what it's going to be.
Because I know for some people, like at the very least, the originals, like kids would get tired out. Because it's not like, oh, this is super action-packed constantly happening. And it's kind of sad because, honestly, they're just getting their minds that, oh, story second, action, or a bunch of excitement first. And it kind of hurts the story. Like, for the prequels, they can still do it because of how the action is. Like, again, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul. Yeah, it is at the very end, but it saved the best part for last. Because it teased the fight with Darth Maul through Tatooine, having Qui-Gon face off Darth Maul, setting him up, and then dual wielding became such a big popularity. because you'll never see that as much creativity. And then we had Count Dooku, which I think people liked him because of his actor. That's why it got attention. And then you have the finale of that trilogy, which is probably the best of all Star Wars, aside from Empire Strikes Back. But it's just the fact is, kids are learning that they should focus on the action rather than the story, and that's kind of sad. Because back then,
Yeah.
people had cared about the story. Like even Disney cared about the story itself, but because there's such a big brand at this point, they don't care anymore. They can make money. They'll just put a cash grab movie and they'll know it'll make money. It's just when people don't care and don't support them, then they'll care. But do we really want them to head to that point? It's just really sad if we have to.
Yeah.
But regarding Star Wars, I get that why you gave up on it, but I think if anything, you should at the very least watch Clone Wars, because that's an actual George Lucas before Disney created. It does have its
Alright.
quirks.
I'd give Clone Wars a shot just by what you're saying about it. But
Although,
I'm talking about any new movies. Like if they put out another movie with Rey in it, I'm not gonna watch it.
oh no, here's a fun fact. All of the trio for the sequels don't want to even participate. They really just don't want it anymore. So no one's getting a contract renewed. Ray, not Poe, not no one. They're all done.
I will say that the blind guy in was it Rogue One, the one that they all died in? Yeah, they shouldn't have died. The blind guy was great. Was he blind? I
Yeah,
think
he was blind, but he managed to use the Force, not in the sense as a Jedi, but more as a civilian who just managed to figure out how to use the Force.
Yeah, I thought he was amazing.
I mean, they give you good characters. I think Rogue One was good. Even the robot was like decent. He was funny and quirky. He's basically
Yeah, I liked the
C3PO and R2D2 combined. But at the
I mean,
same,
R2, he's no R2.
I mean, combining both flaws and stuff, which C3PO's
I
bitchiness.
loved all those characters, and that's the thing is that they could have used those characters in a number of ways, yet they killed them off.
People predicted that they were gonna be the Knights of Ren.
And I was just so mad. I was like, these are actually good. Some of these characters are even better than the original characters that I came to care about, and they just killed them off.
I mean, aside from that being like some storytelling you don't like, I think they give it that you want them to care, so when they die, it's just like very broken for you. Like it'll get your attention more.
And I understand that. I do. It's just I don't remember much about Rogue One because I guess I was just so triggered that my brain just shut a lot of it out except that one scene where they're just sitting on that planet waiting to die. I was just like, you know what? This is not it. This does not make me happy. This is not.
I mean, it was a suicide mission from the start. They even knew it.
Yeah.
So you can make the argument that they knew they were gonna die. Because their whole objective was to get the plans to the rebels.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think, well, if you're gonna watch Clone Wars, I know how much you hate Jar Jar. I really, really do. But he gets some development. That's the thing. He gets some development. In the most weirdest way, though. I'll give it that. Although, what is your big gripe with Jar Jar again?
He sucks, dude.
In what sense? Also, what the heck?
He's annoying.
May not have been received well critically, but there's no denying that Legend of the Fist had some stunning action moments.
What the hell?
Tenzin, originally portrayed by Bruce Lee in 1972's Fist of Fury, and Yen does a fantastic job using Lee's iconic stances and quick traversal.
But I think I'll end it here. We already went 2 hours and 13 minutes, and I don't want it to kill my viewers.
This is a roundup, dude. This is like a
swinging entrance.
It's a lot. But anything you want to wrap it up?
Case of his skill, but it is the
nah,
best
I'm good.
in the film.
No.
I personally love.
All right.
Watch The Last Unicorn.
I knew it. Anyway, this is Green Word 291 signing out. If you like this kind of content, please let us know, because we can do debates about literally anything. Unless it's politics, because then that might actually force me to have to change some stuff. But
Yeah. I won't join you there. That gets really toxic.
Yeah.
I think with us, though, I think we would be, like, respectable, because that's the only issue. If you talk about politics, it has to be between, like, a respected environment.
Yeah, it's true.
But the issue I have with that is it's not something I'm comfortable with. If I'm asked, I'll do it, but I'll probably do research first.
I'll do it. I just won't.
I don't
Don't
know.
expect me. I'll just be very, very simple with it, and I'll be very quick. Like, I'm
Same.
not gonna give you too much in depth.
I only go too much in depth if I'm asked.
I don't.
Yeah, and I won't be comfortable sharing with it. Like, I'll be very uneasy.
Same.
I don't want to.
Yeah, that's exactly how I'd be. I'd be like, well, I guess I think this. It'll change if yours is different. I'll change right back, but well, because that's an argument tactic that I learned, is that if someone's disagreeing with you and you know, like, as soon as they open your mouth, you're like, I'm gonna hate what you say and I want to punch you right now. I learned that if you just agree with them, you're like, yep, 100%. I completely changed my stance. You are right.
That's what you did. That's what you did with.
That's what I did with Lee.
He didn't.
If I'm not gonna win, I don't want that heat. I don't want that shit on me.
He even felt it. He felt that entire betrayal himself. It's like he doesn't. He can sense BS.
He was like, yeah, but what are they gonna say? They're like, you just shut someone up real quick, and then you're like, all right, good day, bye, and you get out quick.
For me though, I enjoy it.
You can't let anyone make you stay. You gotta go quick. And I paid it. You signed out, right?
Not yet. I'm about to sign out.
Oh, okay.
But no, if anything, I enjoy a good debate. Like, yeah, if we both don't get anywhere, as long as we can kind of just prove our points and just have a normal debate, like, it's fine. Heck, if I get convinced. But that'll end
Can't
it.
even say May the 4th be with you. It's May the 5th.
At least by the time we recorded this, it's May the 5th. It's May the 4th. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really think we'll do more of this.
Happy belated May the 4th. You all.
May it be with you still.